Hello everyone! I've been hired by the Goths to remodel their kitchen. So here I am interviewing Bella Goth, asking her about her design preferences, and she says she likes pink, orange, brown, and a contemporary style. So I'm going to be modernizing their kitchen, and first I'm going to just take a look around this place and taking some pictures so that I can show them the before and after. And I am using Dream Home Decorator for this, which is one of my favorite packs, because having a client who has restrictions and budgets is always something that I find good for my creativity. So their budget is 9,675 simoleons, and I don't think I'm going to be using all of that because this kitchen has some very expensive cabinets and appliances. But first I think I want to pick a wallpaper, and that's going to help us base the design around that. So I'm filtering by brown wallpapers, and I decided that this style from Parenthood is going to be great, especially since it also comes with a matching wallpaper with wooden siding. And I also think that having a more vintage fridge might be good because of how the rest of the house looks. And I'm going to modernize the stove just a little bit. This is still not a modern stove, but it does look a lot newer than the one that they had. And I'm thinking this might be like a smeg type of stove and fridge combo. So first, I thought I might look at some of the more traditional counters because you don't need to have everything be contemporary and it would still count as you having met the brief. And I'm thinking first, maybe these vampires counters would be nice because they are brown and they sort of match the old Gothic style of the rest of the house. But I decided that they didn't really fit with the wallpaper, and I just thought that I would rather keep that wallpaper and that it would make a lot more sense for the layout of this kitchen to not have so many counters, so I'm getting rid of the extra ones by the door. So now I am using these very beautiful counters from Home Chef Hustle. They are supposedly brown, but they still look sort of pink, so I think that they match perfectly with this tile that I'm using here on the wall, and I am just making a custom corner shelf because I don't think that the Goths would have open shelving. And I'm raising them up a little bit so that they are higher up than the fridge is. And I'm going to be changing out that stove for a more modern one, but I'm keeping that fridge in that style, and I'm making this coffee corner with a more vintage looking coffee pot and a more modern kettle. And I'm also checking that the colors are the ones that the client asked me to include in this space. Actually, this wasn't going to be a speed build, this was going to be a real-time video, but the file where I was editing it got corrupted. So I'm just making this into a speed build, and it's going to be so short, but I hope that you don't mind. Since I'm traveling, this is what I had to do in order to have enough content this week. Anyway, this is going to be the area for the sink, and I'm using the same counters and cabinets. This is the same shape that this area had originally, and I'm just changing out this window so that it matches the one that is upstairs, and also so that we can have a bit more natural light in here. We're also adding some decorations such as a dish rack, a decorative plate, and some pastries that all come in brown. And we are also changing these lights in here so that they look a bit nicer and like they actually fit this theme. I'm also going to be keeping this very beautiful kettle that was on the dining table, and we're adding it into this coffee corner, as well as some more lighting, and we're also going to be hiding these wall lights inside of these cabinets, and just rearranging stuff a little bit so that it looks a bit better. But overall, I think that this coffee nook is super cute, and it has just enough vintage stuff that it doesn't look like it's too much. I'm also adding this more contemporary plant. I'm just sizing it down so that it looks like it sits on the counter with no problem. For this coffee table, I'm going to be using that same older table lamp and these modern table and chairs. The table is from Growing Together and the chairs are from Dream Home Decorator. And that lamp is from the Cozy Bistro kit, by the way. I also want to have some more contemporary curtains, and I'm picking the gray swatch so that it matches with the paneling that we have on the wallpaper. And we're also going to be adding a dishwasher into this space, just so that this family has all of the comforts, as well as a money trash can. This is one of the new Login Rewards trash cans, and I'm going with a swatch that doesn't really stand out against this wallpaper. Now for this last nook of the kitchen, I thought about just making it into a pantry space, but I decided that it was better to have a bar, so I am using this one from Party Essentials. And next to it I want to add some plants. I think that this swatch matches perfectly with the rest of the kitchen. It has this kind of pinkish kind of wood. And at first I thought about these plants, but they weren't really convincing me. And I also tried to include some sort of pantry next to it, but I still didn't like that. So I'm just going to go with this other contemporary plant that we have already used in the kitchen and just some more wall art. After that, I decided to take a look around the kitchen and try and see if there were any items that were both contemporary and orange, but I didn't really like them either. So I'm going to decide that that's it for this kitchen, and I'm taking photos of the completed renovation. These are supposed to be pictures for the client so that they can see the before and after, but the game always crops them down in a very weird way. So I'm going to have them at the end of the video in their normal size. And now I'm just going to be cutting the gods, and they seem to have like this space since they paid me. But that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. Do let me know if you would like to see me do this again, maybe renovating a whole house, or maybe just some room that you think could be better in a different Tony's house, or maybe in the same house. But anyway, this week I'm going to be starting to build with Lovestruck, which I am very excited about, since this is going to allow me to build the stuff that I see around me, and I'm currently in Mexico City, so I'm getting as much inspiration as I can from my surroundings. So stay tuned for that, and thank you again so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon.